Let's go down memory lane to some nostalgic games played in the past which have since been eroded gradually from our localities. The high jump, are you ready for soldier? Countess ball, sway, hopscotch, ampe, and many others were the games that kept children busy and active emotionally, mentally and physically in class and at home. The evolution of technology has changed the way children play today. Many are glued to their parents' phones, or some even have iPad to enhance their knowledge. The games in the 90s and 80s brought children together in a community playground to bond and learn different communal virtues. But with the ICT tools used today, children are either in their rooms playing PS5 games or independently fidgeting with mobile phones, which usually come with less or no supervision from their parents. Back in the day, the high jump was one of the commonest games played by kids. The poles are usually improvised with palm branches and a stick to cross. Hopscotch. This game is mostly played by girls. It has different names from one community to the other. Until the filing of this report, my investigations indicate that the name is hopscotch. Hopscotch is a game that starts with the drawing of rectangular shapes connected together. With a piece of stone or item of choice, the player starts from the first box with the hope of completing successfully and buying a box at a strategic place as a home that won't be accessed by any other player. When the player fails midway, another person gets the chance to play and it rotates to the very first person who started.
Stay!
In Ghanaian parlance, stay, one of the very popular games in various localities in the country, has faded into thin air over time. The fierce and aggressive nature by which the victim has to determine his fate to get a replacement and hand over a ball to another person to be dribbled and bullied makes it an interesting sport. It is all fun when you play and toss your friend around until you are caught in the web. This game starts with at least 5 people justifying themselves in what is known as stay.
Good. Away go my I'm a 5, I know you are here. I can't be.
The last person suffers the consequences. This game is played by both genders. A leader draws a table to record scores. The leader hides stakes from each player. All players involved hide under the monitoring of the leader. The leader hides the stakes and shouts. At this juncture, the players run from their hiding in search of the stakes. The first to find it, pick one and runs to the finish line and back to the scoreboard, gets the highest mark, while others who follow get their marks depreciated. At the end of the game, a tally is made of the marks and the winner is declared. Kenny Apani, a teacher in Vuti Basic School, says this enhances the teaching and learning of addition and percentages in mathematics.
Mathematically, this helps them in their counting, the addition as well as subtraction. So it keeps them active in the brain. And then when the calculation is not going right, others notice and alerts you. So it brings cooperation between them. Again, you see that everybody is interested in the mark he or she gets. So I'm careful that you don't cheat me. So I know the mark I've gotten. So if you don't award me the right mark, then honesty comes to play also. So this game particularly teaches the children a lot of moral values.
Football has transcended generations, but one that was quite common in the 80s and 90s is the improvised one with bottle tops. A pitch well drawn on a smooth surface with chalk was as aesthetic as watching a Premier League game today. All rules do apply in this field of play. The only difference could be the human players kicking a piece of ball with bottle tops. The air in the cloth idea may be compared to the hot air balloon in today's adventurous world. Children are normally seen with cloth tied to their waist and holding the upper part with their hands. This experiment, according to teacher Apani, applies to some related topics in science.
The cloth, the way they tie it and then they are moving, you see how the air is drawing them back because there is no space for the air to, but the cloth is holding it and it is drawing, so that helps in science. So going further in life or in the classroom, the teacher wouldn't suffer so much when he brings this concept out to the learners.
It's obvious some of the games can't be traced today due to technological advances. That notwithstanding, some of these games, when well rehearsed, can go a long way in engaging the attention of children and drawing them away from social vices, thereby reducing the threat they face on the internet and other forms of immoral behaviors.
These kids don't know much of the game, about most of the games that we are just going through now. All because now it is PS4, PS5 or computer game where they sit in their homes and sometimes some of them use their parents' phone or tablet and they are playing. Sometimes parents even don't allow their kids to come out and then mingle with them, other children, and then play.
You were born in the 1980s and 1990s. You should be familiar with these kind of games. Pilolo, sway, high jump, ampe, and a couple of others. But today, all those plays or activities have been replaced with PS5, playing game on the phone, and a host of others. Children of today would prefer going to the funeral or other places where they hear music, but that wasn't the case some years back. My name is Fred Joe reporting for Citi News.